Welcome to the seventh or eighth or whatever episode. I'm here with oh, I'm here with Matthew Estes. So please introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Like Connor said, my name is Matthew Estes. I serve this year as the state vice president for Kentucky FFA. I represent the Barron River region. I originally come from the Barron County FFA chapter. If you don't know where Barron County is, it's near Bowling Green.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. We're about 30 minutes from Bowling Green. That's where I was this morning, so
All right.
it's not too far at all.
My dad's from Warren County. He's from
Oh,
Bowling Green.
yeah.
So
Oh,
that's
okay.
why
Yeah, that's awesome.
that's why I was like, but
Man, I saw something really cool. I'm pulling up my phone on Facebook today. I'm a
mhm.
Facebook nerd. I sound like a dad. I found this chapter doesn't exist anymore in our region because I have like the
Yeah.
Warren County School, so Greenwood, Warren East, Warren Central. Um,
My dad went
oh,
to Greenwood.
Greenwood. There actually used to be I don't know if the camera could pick that up, a North Warren
That's
FFA.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that today. The jacket was from 1964. So it was really cool to see. But sorry to interrupt.
No,
I
no,
thought
you're good.
that
You are also a pretty big Denver Broncos fan.
I am. I am. Wait, are you?
No.
No. Okay, you're Titans. I see it back there now.
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
My 2019 signed schedule I got at the NFL draft.
Oh, you went. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool,
We went in
dude.
Nashville, and I got
That's
it signed
awesome,
by Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill. So that was
dude. Hey, they were a good duo there for a few years.
for like 3-ish years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, my Broncos. Yeah, I've been a Broncos fan for a while, but last night was rough. If you don't keep
Yeah,
up with sports, anybody listening, they lost in a heartbreaker. I think like 34-20 or something like
yeah.
that. Yeah, it was not a fun watch.
I was rooting for you guys because I hate Jacksonville with all my heart.
That makes sense. Yeah, man.
Hey, but we beat the Chiefs for you, so I guess there's that.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all put the nail in the coffin for him, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we actually no, I think it was last
Oh
week.
no, that's when Trevor Lawrence fell. I remember watching that in my dorm,
Yeah,
like the little fall and stood back up and threw a touch or ran for a touchdown.
yeah.
That was insane.
He like tripped twice, I think.
Yeah, it was nuts. I had some funny thing. I think I'm allowed to say this. I hang out with a lot of the nominating committee guys from last year. Anybody doesn't know, the nominating committee is the group of 12, 12 senior members from each region plus a committee chair, and they select the state officers. And a few of them go to UK now, and they are some of my best friends in the world. Shout out Joe and Nate. They're
Hmm.
great guys. It's funny though how I was pretty scared of them, back in June, but now we're best friends watching football in the dorm room together. It's crazy.
Yeah, and my dad, I'm so mad I didn't go, but he actually went to the Chiefs Titans game yesterday or the day
Oh,
before.
really?
Yeah, so we took some really cool pictures.
Oh, that's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah, but
Mm-mm.
besides sports, I guess the simplest question I guess to get started is how in the world did you get introduced to FFA?
Okay, yeah. So my road to FFA, I would say, is a traditional yet untraditional road. I'll explain what I mean. So, grandpa, I mean, I'm like a fifth or sixth or seventh, I don't know, generation farmer, something like that. My bloodline of farming goes way back in Barron County and the surrounding counties. My grandpa was a member of Park City FFA, which no longer exists. It's a part of Barron County FFA now. My mom, she was involved in FFA. She won the state dairy impromptu speaking, but she was very involved with FCCLA, where she actually served as state vice president. So that was cool. My aunt and uncle, though, my late uncle, who I'm named after, were both very involved in FFA. My aunt served as regional president. My uncle held a regional office. So my lineage in FFA does go back a little bit, but the story begins in middle school for me. So Barron County is
So
one of
did
the
mine.
few.
Mine began
Really?
in middle school. Yeah,
That's awesome. We can talk about middle school chapters in a minute.
yeah.
My so I started Barron County Middle School. They did have an ag program, and my year was the first year they were going to allow seventh grade students. But it wasn't on my schedule originally. I had art, or, no, yeah, I had art and choir, um, and I was like, one of those has to go. I knew the choir teacher. He was a chill guy. I can't sing worth a lick. I'm mouth like mouth the words most of the time. So I chose to get rid of art for an ag class. My mom went to war for me with the counselors. Not really, but we had to get the schedule changed up a little bit. I took my first ag class. I mean, I was a kid in a candy store, dude. It was just something that clicked instantly. There wasn't no need for me to warm up to it. I mean, it was just love it. I'm all in. Ran for chapter office, got assistant president, which is a very, very odd office that most chapters probably don't have or never have had or
Yeah.
haven't had in a long time. But they kind of just made a special position for me. It was really weird how it was because I was like the only seventh grade officer and I showed up to literally everything. I mean, I was all over the place. I was pumped up seventh grade year, ready to go to FFA camp that summer. March 16th, 2020, school shut down.
Yep.
Yeah, infamous day. I had to give my first ever FFA competition. All my first FFA competitions were over the computer screen. Speeches. We did like opening and closing ceremonies, your typical middle school events. It was very, I don't know what the words are for it. Um, Underwhelming doing it through the screen. I didn't get that state convention magic that people get. I'm really glad others get to experience that now, but I'm a little jealous.
Yeah.
Because my first state convention wasn't until freshman year, even though I was a member 2 years prior and I competed in state events both years prior. It's fun. We were at state convention planning the other day and we were talking about, theme ideas, themes. We could talk about that later too. But the theme for the year of COVID was because that COVID year, all convention was over on YouTube. The theme was "You Are Here,"
Yeah.
and nobody was there except for the state officers. It was really funny. Um, but no, I enjoyed seventh grade year, stuck with it through middle school. I got to serve as a third ever Barron County Middle School FFA chapter president. Those were the days. And then, joined high school. Barron County FFA is a pretty notable chapter. We're not a small chapter, about 300 members, so pretty large with 3 advisors, really great program, great support system. And I just continued to get involved. Yeah, so that's how my FFA story started.
Yeah. Mine is kind of similar. So, I'm from Lexington, Bay
Hmm.
County. There isn't really, I'm not from a traditional ag background. Uh, no one in my family really is. My grandfather, he was an FFA in
Oh,
Warren County when they way back
yeah.
when they used to have one. But besides that, I have like no real attachment. But in sixth grade, our middle school did this like weird 9 week thing. So every 9 weeks you would switch classes. So you would have
Exactly how ours was. That's
yeah. So you'd
exactly.
have like 8 or so electives.
Hmm.
And well, one of my spots was taken up by band. I love band.
Oh, that's cool.
So I only had four, but I didn't get to choose. But my first elective was agri-science, and I can talk about how unexcited I was for like hours. I was like, "Oh, great." Because I'm like sick, like walking in. I knew nothing about agriculture. As far as I
Right.
knew, it was just like farming, and that's about it. And I was like, I don't really care about that. And then when I walk in, like the first day, we went over the syllabus, and then I come home to my mom, and I'm like, never. I know I said how much I was gonna hate it. No, keep me in there. Keep me in there.
That's awesome, dude.
And I just like went to every single meeting that I possibly could. They had a meeting after school, I would go. And then in seventh grade, we switched advisors. So the first
Hmm.
advisor I met, Miss Davis, she had to go. She moved to Vermont to be with her family. And then Mr. Bischoff, who was my favorite teacher of all time, he came in and he made it even better. Just
That's great.
he's such a good teacher and such an amazing person. And around like 2 months in, he was like, "Hey, you're gonna be our chapter's president." And I kind of looked at him like, "What?" And he was like, "Well, you go to everything." And when I asked a bunch of like other members in the class, were like, "Hey, who should do this?" They were like, "Connor, Connor, Connor." Like, "Oh, great." And he was like, "Also, there's this thing called National Convention. do you want to go? And I was like, sure. And I've gone every year since.
Man, that's awesome. Ag teachers are very, very special.
Yeah.
I think they're, top 5 most important jobs in the
Oh
world.
yeah.
Ag
Like
teachers are in there.
my favorite teachers almost always have been an agriculture teacher or a band teacher, and
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing to like, especially for ag teachers because of FFA, because it always feels like they're pushing me to do better. Like they know what
Mhm.
I can be, and so they're gonna push me to do that.
Yeah, it's December 22nd right now, and as of today, I've texted 2 out of the 4 ag teachers I've had in my career, and in the past week, I've texted 3 out of the 4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm constantly talking to my ag teachers. I'm talking to other ag teachers too. Um, they're great people, and they're just very special, and they're great at what they do. They have that sort of magic that makes you want to get involved, make you
Hmm.
feel really special, and then they push you to be great. It's an awesome thing.
It's just awesome to experience, and then especially something I've like for FFA in at least Kentucky, Lexington, especially
Hmm.
because it is very urban. It feels, even though there's like multiple middle school chapters, it kind of feels like one big one, all under Locust Trace, which is where I am now, and
Right.
it's just really nice because I knew all the advisors from all the other chapters. I talked to all of them. I met them. They're all amazing people, and just like being able to like have that connection with other chapters is pretty cool. And especially when we need to like do something for a fundraiser or for having a training event, not having
Mhm.
to worry about like, oh, are we gonna have enough people to run it? The answer is yes, of course we do. We need so many people.
Yes, sir. That's great.
So you were talking about state convention planning. What
Yes,
goes into that?
man, a lot of work. This is exciting to talk about because this is something, as a member, I really never knew how the process went. So I'll say what I think I'm allowed to say. Hopefully, I don't get a call from Mr. Call if like you were not supposed to tell people that. No. State convention planning is like I would break it up into like 3 different sections. You have actual state convention planning, you have your Christmas time with your officer team, and then you have shenanigans where you just have fun. Um, so basically, I'll give a little rundown of what it was. So we all get done with our finals because we're all college
Yeah,
students, and we all meet at the happiest place on earth, the soon-to-be named Carol Bill Gatton Kentucky FFA Leadership Training Center, FFA camp. And we met on a Friday. We got there around lunchtime. We got straight to work, planning industry tours, planning the little odds and ends of convention, and then we started brainstorming for the big thing, the theme.
yeah,
Um, Anybody that doesn't really understand what I mean by theme, like last year's theme was under one roof. The year before
yeah.
that was flip the switch. It's kind of like the motto for the convention. It's probably one of the most important decisions we make while we're there. But it's a long, lengthy process. Some people think you just go in with a notes app of like catchy names. It's not that at all. They have
Because you
a
also have to like plan, like I guess from what I understand, you have to like plan like workshops that go around the naming scheme.
um. So at State Convention, we don't really do workshops, but we have like a bunch of speeches, retirement addresses, and
Hmm.
chairing sessions and stuff that are in a way workshops. There's a little less interactive. But we don't do any of those until we're able to settle on a theme. The theme is
Okay.
the number one thing. But like I said, you don't like go in with like under one roof. They
Yeah.
didn't have that already written down. Everybody's like, yeah, that's great. It's a 2-day process. We probably spent 7 or 8 hours in all, debating, um, coming up with ideas, brainstorming, sleeping on it, creating little sales pitches on why we think it should be that, and then compromising. Because it's a task to get 12 good leaders to agree on what you want the tagline for what your team will be remembered for forever into a few words. Compromises have to be made. Starting from scratch sometimes is a thing. So teamwork and being able to, find middle ground was really, really important. But besides from that, you get broken into committees that are responsible for different parts of convention. Like there's the pre-session committee, so everything that happens before the gavel drops. There's the video committee, so all the cool videos you'll see. There's all sorts of committees that we get put on to help make the big decisions and make convention come to life. You get your assignments for the week at convention. You never really eat by yourself at convention. You're always at a dinner or a lunch or a breakfast with stakeholders or ag teachers or everybody. We're celebrities for the week is basically what they told us, that we don't get to eat alone. So it's cool to get your assignments for that. So with a 12-person officer team, you're able to rely on your teammates, so you don't have to speak at every function. Sometimes you're just able to sit back and relax because from what it sounds like, it's a stressful week. So
But you're
being
gonna
able,
get through it.
yeah, we'll get through it. We'll get through it all together. And then, you have your Christmas things. We do a Secret Santa. All the officers did. I had Molly, so I went out and shopped for her. Dawson had me, so he got me a bunch of Broncos and Kentucky stuff. He knows me very well. And we had like a gingerbread house competition when we made our gingerbread houses. And then like the shenanigans part, it's all of us being little kids at FFA camp. We played football in the auditorium. Like all the chairs are up at camp right now. So we played football in the auditorium. We turned off all the lights at camp and we played like hide and seek and like mafia and we just have fun. It was just team bonding chemistry. Because if you think about it, we really never get to see each other if you don't go to college together, or only the other time we see each other is at chapter visits. Chapter visits, you have to bring a certain level of professionalism.
Yeah.
Doing workshops, interacting with stakeholders, parents, ag teachers. FFA camp, we were all just kids. It was so much fun. We played music, we sang along. It was just a great time. But that's what I'd say the sneak peek of state convention planning looks like. Some stuff you could expect for any future state officers listening, hopefully.
Yeah. It's just I've always known that, they don't just like wake up one day and like, yeah, we should do a state convention tomorrow. Like
Yes,
I,
it's
it takes a
it's
lot.
it takes a lot. I mean, state convention isn't for another almost 6 months.
Yeah.
We're planning 6 months out, which is crazy to me. We have a theme selected 6 months out. That's insane. I'm starting to plan my retiring address 6 months out. That's wild to me. But it's really good. We're gonna be prepared. We're gonna be able to. Everything's gonna be great. We're all really excited, really enthusiastic to share the theme with you guys. Come FFA week. Not yet.
Yes.
The
The
countdown's
greatest
on.
week.
The countdown's on. Everybody's excited for it. And being able to just hopefully make it the best state convention that we can possibly make it.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
it's gonna be really, I guess, really interesting, and I cannot wait.
What grade are you in? I forget.
So I'm a sophomore right now.
Sophomore. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you've been to a few good ones. Hopefully this will be one of the best
Yeah.
ones for you so far.
Yeah, I don't think I've been to I'll yeah, I've been to a few. I don't think I've ever like stayed and actually listened to any of the speeches, so hopefully I actually get to do that this
Hey,
time.
June 10th, you better be at
June
mine.
10th. All right.
I know I'm just messing with you. We're
Hey,
super
if
excited.
I can get there, I'm gonna go. I
Hey, my
love
man.
it.
There we go.
It's gonna be pretty awesome.
Yes, sir.
And then I guess how much you can really talk about this, I don't know, but like what's the delegation process for national convention?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Something that I really never knew what went on. So, delegates. It's a lot to explain, so I'll try to keep it as simple as I can. Basically, you could think of it as the House of Representatives in a way. Each state is apportioned so many delegates based on their association size. So Kentucky, we have 11 delegates. Um, California has like 65, just like
Yeah.
to give you guys a comparison. So Kentucky's delegates are all state officers. We have 12 state officers, 11 delegates. So someone isn't, but they're busy all week too with other things. But like some states bring in regional officers and then members, and it's a lot that goes into it. But basically, the delegation process starts in July. National conventions at the end of October, so they're planning early too. You're given 2 leadership delegates. Each state's guaranteed 2 delegates, and then those 2 delegates are also leadership delegates. So our leadership delegates in Kentucky are the president and the vice president. So Aiden was a leadership delegate, and I was a leadership delegate. Leadership delegates basically are the ones that are allowed to run for an office in committee. So there's 6 committees which are focused on issues brought to by other states. So like the issue that I was addressing was the whole delegate experience, like how delegates feel, how well prepared they are, and how impactful they can be.
I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
Before you go any further, you're gonna see an empty chair. That's me turning my light because it is very dark in here. So
Hey,
I'm still listening. I'm still
you're
listening.
good. You're good, man.
You're
You're
just gonna
good.
see like an empty chair for like a
It's
second.
boring. It's boring. I know. So you're fine.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I'm enjoying this. I love learning about this stuff.
Yes, I love the behind the scenes things. So, anyways, your leadership delegates are able to run for office within your committee. They're the leaders of those committees. So I ran for office in my committee, and I was first vice chair. So each has a chair, each has a first vice chair, a second vice chair, 2 secretaries, 2 sentinels, and then everybody else is discussion group leaders. I don't know how that math turns out, but you could think of it. Every state in Puerto Rico have 2 leadership delegates, and so that's how it turns out. I think Aiden was secretary maybe for his committee. You can't serve on the same committee as your leadership delegates can't. And basically your leadership delegates on that committee get together, they create a plan, they try to get everything running. And then once national convention starts, that's when the floodgates open and all the delegates are in and they get their committee assignments. So they come to a committee and you basically just start brainstorming things. You start thinking like, what can this be? What are some ideas we have? That's all the committee. And then there is what we call public testimonies. So people from the public can come in and give their thoughts on whatever the issue might be. And then there is member or delegate testimony. So delegates from other committees can come to your committee and give their thoughts. We had a lot of those. I chaired those through the delegate process. And then parliamentary procedure starts. If you know about parliamentary procedure, it can be a lot sometimes. And motions start to get made. You're making motions to ultimately create a recommendation for the National FFA Board of Directors. So anything we pass isn't set in stone. It's just a recommendation. Hey, this is what FFA members think should happen. And those National Board of Directors make decisions accordingly to those things. Excuse me. And so basically, through the parley process, you create your recommendations in the committee. And then all the delegates meet in a really big room in the basement of Lucas Oil Stadium. It's a huge room. And you basically vote on the recommendations and you make amendments, you pass and you fail things like Congress, basically, on if you want that to go to the board for recommendation. And then any constitutional amendments to the National FFA Constitution are voted on by all the delegates. A big one this year, I don't know if you've heard about it, affiliation was the big talk. Affiliation basically means dues are automatically paid for all members by their chapters. I come from an affiliated chapter, Barron County is. That was the hot button issue. That was probably the most divisive issue of the National Convention. It did fail this time, but they'll continue to vote on it for years to come. Probably it'll pass eventually, but
yeah,
eventually they'll get it. But it's going to take some work probably. Kentucky, we split our votes on how we voted for that. Some of us voted yes, some of us voted no. A lot of states will do what's called a block vote, where they all make a decision beforehand and they vote together. Kentucky delegates were allowed to vote how they saw, as long as they were able to justify it and they were able to make that decision beforehand. It wasn't just like a feel thing.
Yeah.
Being able to, because at the end of the day, we were trusted to represent our region and represent Kentucky FFA. So being able to make those decisions, use our critical thinking skills, and then justify those decisions was really important. And the state officers, we did split votes on multiple things. I was really, really proud of us. I sent a text to the group chat at the end of the week. I was like, guys, we rocked it. We were able to, disagree, and then we would like have our huddles at the end of the night, and we justified why we voted a certain way, and everybody was able to respect everybody's opinions, and that was so important because some people just get really fired up about issues in FFA sometimes at the national level, and we were passionate. Don't get me wrong. But we were able to respect each other, respect different perspectives because me and you don't have different or
Yeah,
you have different perspectives. You coming from Lexington, me coming from rural Cave City, Kentucky. We're gonna have different perspectives on things. Me being a state officer, and you being a member, we're gonna have different perspectives on
yeah,
things. So all of us being able to respect those different thoughts and opinions, and at the end of the day, still be friends was super duper important. And I was just over the moon excited. And we got some really good recommendations, some really good work done that I think will be very, very impactful for National FFA for the years to come. Though that delegate body we worked very, very hard, and I'm super duper proud. And shout out to my committee. We worked super duper hard. And we were able to get some good things done to hopefully um, make a positive impact on the delegate experience.
which is awesome, especially
Mm.
like, Kentucky, if I recall correctly, it's on the upper half of amount of members and delegates.
Definitely,
It's
definitely.
pretty big. It's like 130-ish thousand members.
In Kentucky,
Yeah.
we have 25,000. Texas has about 200,000. California has about 100,000.
Okay, so I
Um,
misremember numbers. That's
no,
fine.
no, no, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Um, but no, you're good. But we are on the up in terms of delegates. Definitely. You just have Texas and like California,
Yeah.
Florida, and Georgia are your really big ones. But Kentucky is the best at having the best foundation. We have the number one foundation in the nation
Oh yeah.
by far. Sheldon does a great job over there. They take care of the state officers very well. They take care of FFA members very well. They make us feel very supported. And from state president all the way down to the middle school members, the foundation's right there behind you.
Yeah. And I I I love FFA camp. It's
Yeah,
awesome because especially during a Locust Trace, um we could go the July 4th week pretty much every year. And
awesome.
this year we had Michaela, Aiden, and Anna and
Oh,
Clinton.
dude, that's what a group. What a group.
And that's, where this interviewing started was at FFA camp. So that
Yeah,
was yeah. And Thaddeus Burstein was also there. So that was just very cool experience.
that's awesome, dude. FFA camp, it's I genuinely do think it's the happiest place on earth. Fun story. So the way Barron County FFA does it, you can't go like in between your eighth grade and freshman year, but you can go in between your freshman and sophomore year. So that was the first time I went, and I was a one push away from not going. I almost pretended to be sick. I was going to lie to my advisor because I didn't want to go. Sometimes I get a little frightened of the unknown. Something I've been working on definitely. But I didn't like the idea of going away for a week, and I don't know where I'd been if I didn't end up going,
Yeah,
honestly, because I had a great time, man. One of the best. Made so many friends, and then that's the cool thing about FFA camp. Once you go once, you have a bunch of friends. You build up more of those friends. Like you'll see people the next year, and then you'll meet another 20, 25 people and really make genuine connections. And then the next year, you'll have
yeah,
even more friends. And it's really, really special. But I almost didn't go in between my freshman and sophomore year. And I thank God that I did.
yeah. And I've
It
done
was a
some.
huge blessing and it
Oh,
definitely changed my life. No, you're good. Sorry.
you lagged with it, but yeah, I love it, and it's also like really fun because this year um I went again. I went the first time in my seventh to eighth grade year,
Hmm.
and this is my second time going, and it was awesome. And then being able to make like connections and friends that I would actually see again at national convention.
Hmm.
Like Lacey, I met her. She's really nice. She's
Yeah.
from Nelson County. I met her
Okay.
there. her and her brother, I think. I met them. They're really nice, and then I saw them again at national convention, and it was pretty cool.
And you think, people on national convention, just wait till state convention. Because
Yeah,
everybody from Kentucky,
everybody's there.
state convention, especially the older you get, it's a whole lot of fun. You know someone around every corner. It's so much fun. The connections are like one of my top five favorite things about FFA for sure.
Yeah, I love the Kentucky FFA culture, and just and something I especially like, which I don't think is really seen often, but I like how a lot of chapters are not like there's a lot of like rural traditional FA chapters, and
Yeah.
there's places like Locust Trace who are not traditional, and how I just think that's really nice to see multiple chapters from different places.
Yeah, it's a huge melting pot of chapters. I mean, even in my region alone, I have the inner city Bowling Green schools, and then I have Barron County, Allen County, Monroe County, Logan
Hmm.
County, that are Hart County, that are those more traditional routes. But you have great places like Locust Trace, like Seneca, like Franklin Simpson, that are really leaning in to those non-traditionals. And I think it's great because it resonates with students really good. Because like Locust Trace, maybe I don't know what percentage do you think come from a farm background at Locust Trace?
I know of only two.
Two farm backgrounds, so
Yeah,
like 95% probably at least
yeah.
are non-traditional, and I think it's so important. I think those members are just as equal as the ones that do
Hmm.
come from a farming background, and they deserve curriculum that resonates with them just as students who are from a traditional background deserve curriculum that resonates with them. And it's just so special how FFA is able to walk that line of traditional and non-traditional agriculture. It's something really special. It gives me chills thinking about it.
Yeah. And Local Trace is just a specialized school because you go for half a day and it's
Right.
all ag related and has some of the best teachers ever.
I'm so jealous of that.
Yeah. And the two people I've only known two people who have a traditional farm background that I can think of right now, which is
Right.
Riley Hutchinson, our
Hmm.
current vice president, and Caroline Groth.
Right.
Yeah. And
Who's that? Who's that?
who's
No, I'm just
that?
kidding.
And both those people are just super nice and amazing.
Oh yeah.
And not only them, but it feels like everyone there is just wanting to help you or wanting to like talk to you.
It reminds me of a quote that an ag teacher outside of my region sent to me one day. An athlete will never criticize somebody for working out. A musician will never criticize somebody for trying to sing. Um, a farmer won't criticize somebody for trying to learn about agriculture. Um, if you're in the industry, you want as many people as
Yeah.
possible to be interested. And I think that's so special, and that ag teachers are able to welcome students from all different backgrounds with open arms and being able to teach them about agriculture education.
And then being able to push them further to
Hmm.
be like all that they can be. And
Exactly.
earlier this week, I heard this quote from Peyton Manning of all people.
Oh, I love Peyton Manning. Let's go. I'm looking at my
I
jersey right now in my closet.
if I'm gonna try and to remember it correctly,
Okay.
but it was in his retirement speech when he played for the Broncos, and it was
Mhm.
him saying, "Treat a man as he is now, he won't grow, but if you treat him as he could be, he'll surpass your expectations," or something like that. And I
Oh,
just
that's such a
thought,
good quote. I need to write
and,
that down.
and I was like, I've hated you for so long. You,
Because he's
Andrew
a college
Luck,
guy.
just making my life with Titan fans the worst. Granted, we usually do it to ourselves, but I just think that quote as it is, like having these teachers and people being able to like push you forward and not just like leaving you as is. Like a lot of the teachers, like one of my teachers, Mr. Craig,
Hmm.
my favorite teachers there. Last year he went up to me and pretty much said, "You're doing this," and then handed me a sign up for Creed speaking.
There you go. Sometimes it's tough. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, and I was like, I asked him, "Hey, why do you think? Why do you want me to do this?" And he said, "Because I think you'd like it, and I think you'll be good at it." And so I did it, and I enjoyed it.
There you
And
go.
then I did junior parliamentary procedure, and I'm doing senior parliamentary procedure because I got my hack teacher told me, "Hey, you're doing this." I'm like, okay.
Well, Locust Trace is a good place to be at for senior
Hmm.
parliamentary procedure, I guess.
Yes, very, very good. Um,
Historically, they are very, very good at that.
yes,
Mr. Muscle does a
Mr.
great job.
Bustle. Yep. And we've already started practice. We started practice in October.
I believe that. I'm surprised
Yeah,
you didn't start in September.
yeah. And it's amazing. It's just a fun experience to like learn.
Hmm.
And it sounds so boring. Learning parliamentary procedure sounds so incredibly boring on paper, but I love the debates. I love the thinking of stuff.
Well, I'll drop this on you. Parley was my competition of choice all throughout high school. I did 1 year of junior Parley because you can only do 1 year of junior
One
Parley.
year.
I did 4 years of senior Parley too. Um, it's definitely my one of my favorite FFA competitions.
Yeah. I love speaking. I love extemporaneous stuff, just
Yeah.
thinking on the spot. I live for that. I live just talking my head off.
Well, that's why you got a podcast, right?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, I love to do speeches, and it's just I don't think I would ever find this part of myself without FFA
Hmm.
because I think the first ever time I kind of did, I guess, public speaking was in FFA at state convention for my agri-science fair project in 8th grade
That's
because that
awesome.
was our final in 8th grade. My teacher was like, "You're all doing agri-science fair, and we'll have people from local trace judge it. If you do the best, you're going, to compete in FFA for real." And he
Oh
was
yeah.
like, and I was like, okay. And then I won, and I made it to state, and just like talking to the judges, I felt so terrified. But then after, I was like, that was really fun. I'm gonna do this more.
Agri-science is a really great competition for anybody to do because it's an easy way to get to state convention.
Yes.
You don't have to compete at the regional level as long as you're able to get out of your chapter. And there's so many categories that you
Hmm.
can surely you'll find something you can get out of your chapter with and be able to get to state convention. That's not just the only reason I like
Yeah.
agri-science fair. I love that it's able to get people to state convention because I think if we're able to get members into state convention, get them under the lights, get them feeling the energy,
Yeah.
get them through the tunnel, um, all of it. I think that's a pretty special moment, and it gets people fired up and really excited about FFA.
And like, I guess it's a really nice like entryway competition. Like, I've
Yes.
always in my head whenever someone asks, I guess my sister, she's also an FA. She was like, "Oh, what are good things to get into it?" And I was like, "Agri-science fair, junior junior parliamentary procedure, and creed
Yep.
speaking," because those are like great ways to get into it, and you don't have to have like too many prerequisites, especially for
No.
the last two.
I mean, junior parlay and Creed speaking, they're designed for that. Their whole
Yeah,
purpose is to get freshmen involved. And I think every freshman should take that
yeah,
opportunity of doing it. And most chapters, I didn't realize most chapters do this because my home chapter does this too. State office here is something I've learned. Most chapters will buy you a jacket
yep.
if you're the Creed winner or second place. It's definitely probably the number one competition I would recommend. Funny story. What place do you think I got in Creed speaking my freshman year?
Fourth, fourth or fifth.
I would have got fourth or fifth, but there was only three of us. I got third. It was not good. I didn't. My mom was mad because I could have got a new jacket because I still had my middle school jacket. And all I needed to do was get first or second, and our alumni would pay for a new jacket for me. And I got third. Broke my heart.
Hey,
Um,
don't feel too bad. I also got third in my in creed speaking, so
hey, there we go. There we
yeah,
go.
we
No,
got a lot of things in common. We both started in middle school. We
exactly.
both got third in creed speaking.
Well, here's another thing. I don't know if you knew this. I had a podcast when I was an FFA member.
Really?
It's right here. That's the logo for it. It's called. I'll have to send you the Instagram
Yeah.
afterwards. I don't do it anymore right now, but I did it with the State Sentinel Madison, and it's called Rooted in Ag. We probably
Oh, Aiden was telling me about it when I interviewed him. He was like, "Oh yeah, Matthew does." Blah blah blah.
yeah. It was so much fun to do. I made a lot of great connections. I think you're doing a great job. I think
Yeah.
you're better than me at it. You're
Oh,
very
thank
more
you.
conversational. Mine was a very structured job
I
interview.
I can't do structured interviews.
Yes.
If I like had questions written down, I can't do that.
Well, I never wrote down questions, but it always just turned into a job interview, and I hated it. But I think you're way more conversational than me, so you're killing it in that aspect.
Well, thank you.
Um, but no, no, no. Finding SAEs like whether it be a podcast or an entrepreneurship or a research or whatever it is super duper important. I think definitely think you found your niche, and so I'm
Yeah,
really
I
proud of you for that.
it started in an FFA camp. Um, when I saw Thaddeus Berschneider, he was there,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, because I remember seeing I've told this story before. I think maybe I told it to Caroline, but I remember
Hmm.
walking in past the cafeteria. You know that like little pavement pathway into the
Oh yeah.
cafeteria. I was walking past, and then I was walking to the little pavilion for the like little opening thing before we all get lunch before things like actually started,
Right.
and then Thaddeus Berschneider walks past me with his FFA polo on and khakis on, and he said hi. I said hi back, and then 2 seconds after, I was like, that guy looks familiar. That guy looks super familiar. And I was like, he doesn't look like any of the state officers. And then the gear started slowly turning, and like, what was the name of the national president that got elected last year? I was there during convention. I should know this. And then gears started turning, like, oh, that's him. And
That's funny.
I I was like, oh man, I need to take advantage of this. And I was like, what can I do? What can I do? I'm like, I can just interview him. And I go, I think this is going to turn into what it is, but I go up to him. I asked, hey, can I do an interview with you? He was like, yeah, of course. I interviewed him. It was amazing. Then I was like, hey, there's FFA state officers here. I should do that. So I talked to
Oh,
Aiden. I talked to Michaela. I talked to Anna. I talked to Glenn. I talked to everyone there. I talked to Mr. Mitchum. I talked to
heck yeah.
the Commissioner of Ag, Jonathan Skell. I
Yeah.
talked to everyone there I possibly could have, and it was so awesome. And then my last interview, it was Anna, and I remember
Mhm.
this so specifically after she was like, "I challenge you to turn this to an SAE,"
Ooh.
and I was like,
Yes, ma'am.
"Yes, ma'am.
That when Anna speaks, you listen.
Yes."
No, I'm just kidding. She's great. She is a great state officer.
Yes.
She brings a lot of us have a lot of energy, including me. She brings the calmness and the
Yeah.
steadiness to the room, and um, she's on it. I don't know how far we'd get without Anna.
Yeah. And I was like, "Okay." And then when I got home, I opened up my phone. I, I opened AET. I'm like, "New SAE," and I just was like, "Okay, who else can I interview?" And I was like, "Well, I want to do more, and I want to do them for longer."
Yeah,
And I was like, "Okay." And I think I still have the list on my phone, but I put a list of a bunch of names of like who would be good at interview.
yeah.
And at the top of my list, I had um, Caroline Groth and Dr. Travis Park.
You already got both of them.
And I got both of them.
That's crazy.
And I was, because I sent an email to Dr. Park and he responded, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I was like, okay. And now, when I went to national convention, I made connections. I asked for interviews, so I'm going to do those eventually.
That's
Um,
great.
I'm hoping to make it through, hopefully, all of the state officers. Let's see how that goes. Trying to get
Hey,
as
another
many
one
as
down. Another one down.
another one down. Um, get as many as possible, and then go into out of state. Like I've been, I've been like slowly looking through Instagram at like other states. I've been especially looking at smaller states,
Hmm.
especially like smaller chapters like Alaska, Vermont,
Oh yeah.
North Dakota.
I have some friends in Alaska FFA. I'll send you their Instagram.
Yeah,
Some
I
state
was
officer friends. They'd be
hmm
definitely down to do that.
I was like, because I I only know how we do it kind of in Kentucky. I don't know how they do it in
Oh yeah.
Alaska.
Yeah. So I could talk about that just a hair for you.
Yeah,
Um, going to Summit, almost at least your delegates are there, but usually state officers or state staff brings the whole team. Um, Every state is different. Every single state. No one does it like Kentucky. No one does it like Texas. No one does it like Nebraska. No one does it like Oklahoma.
Yeah.
All so different. Um, a lot of state officers have to take a gap year from college their first year. A lot of them aren't in college. A lot of them live together in a house, which surprises a lot of people. Um,
Huh.
I went
That's
to Indiana FFA
yeah,
right
I
after the
saw
national
yeah, I
convention.
saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we can talk about that in a second. But a little bit of that was they literally have a it's not huge. It's really not like a mansion. It's a one-story house, and you walk in. They have a pretty decent-sized living room, kitchen, and then the house is split into two sectors. The girls all share one huge bedroom, and then the guys all share one huge bedroom. Then they have their office at the end of the hall, and they have two sets of bathrooms, one for girls, one for guys, and they live there all year, which is a
How
culture
many
shock to me.
yeah, that how many state officers do they have?
They have seven, I think. I think seven or eight. I'm trying to think.
Okay,
Um, they
that's
don't
a
have
lot.
12. There's not 12.
Yeah, that's a lot more doable than 12 or however
Yes.
many Texas has.
And then yeah, and then my buddy out in California, they have six and they all live
Baylor?
together.
Is it
Say
Baylor
that again.
Bloom? You're talking about
No, it's
Baylor?
not Dale. His name's Noah. He's their
Okay.
state vice president out there. He's a really cool guy. He's from like the San Diego area.
Mhm.
Uh, but they all have their own bedroom. But there's only six of them, and they all live together, and it's a full time job out there too. They have to take a gap year from college too. And then Alaska, some of their state officers are still in juniors or seniors in high school. They only have 17 chapters. Alaska does, and they're all down the coast, where I guess uh, it's been urbanized. There we go. That's the word I
Yeah.
was looking for. Where it's not just snow, I guess. um, but they're so different. And then like South Carolina, they do it different. Their state president's a senior in high school, and all the other state officers are in college. They have seven of them, or no, they have six of them. It's just so different every single state. It's really interesting to learn about.
And as you were saying earlier, if you said something about like how you guys don't see each other a
Mhm.
lot, and I think yes, that is like I guess you probably want to see each other, I guess more, of course, because
Right.
you're all a team, you're all like this one big like family and friends. But I also think that's kind of cool because you go to different colleges,
Yeah.
and that just I guess the way I think of it is yes, they don't see each other that often, but that also speaks to like how many good ag programs for colleges we have in Kentucky.
Oh, I 100% agree with that. Like all the South Carolina state officers, all of them except for the one that's in high school right now, go to Clemson. That's their
Yeah,
land grant college. Almost all the Indiana ones are going to Purdue. Like I think probably all the Oklahoma ones go to OSU.
yeah,
We are so spread out. The Kentucky team is. We have representation at Murray State, University of Kentucky, EKU, Moorhead, and
WKU,
WKU. There's five. Um, that's insane.
yeah,
Five, all majored in agriculture. Um, I think nine or 10 majoring in agriculture education want to be ag teachers. That's nuts.
yeah,
That is able to support all those ag programs, and it's really special that they're able to do that compared to other states. I don't know them as well, but I don't know any other state officers teams that are so spread out like that in terms of colleges.
yeah, and like I'm maybe there is more, but like I'm trying to think of other states that have multiple ag schools or schools that are known for their
Yeah,
agriculture, and it's I can't really think of any.
yeah,
There's prob
exactly.
there probably is some, but like right now I can't think of it. And I think that's just a testament to like how good they are at.
And Kentucky has another one that we don't have any state officers at right now. Kentucky State's also an ag
Yep.
school in Frankfurt there. So that's six ag schools that
Yeah.
have very strong ag programs.
And I just think that's amazing. And you go to UK,
I do.
you're a very big UK basketball fan.
All UK athletics. I love it
Oh
all.
yeah.
I was very sad watching the volleyball game last night, but
Yeah,
it happens.
it
But yeah,
happens.
I enjoy that for sure.
And just you have a one of the first things that caught my eye are two things.
Okay.
The New York Yankees and the Hamilton right to the left
Oh,
of
right
it.
behind me.
Yep.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Huge Yankees fan. My teams are all spread out. Don't ask me why. I'm not bandwagon. I've cheered on the same team since I was like 8, but I'm a Broncos and a Yankees fan, and then Kentucky Athletics. Um, Crazy. Big Yankees guy. I wish I could show you the rest of my room. My walls are navy,
Yeah.
literally. I got to choose the color when I was little. I wanted them navy for the Yankees. We Yankees and FFA jacket is why my walls are navy, actually. And then I got Hamilton right here. I might play Bill somewhere. I don't know if it's around. I don't see it, but I went and saw Hamilton at Richard Rogers Theater on Broadway in New York.
That's
I'm a
awesome.
big history guy and not a musical guy. I'm a big history guy. That's why I enjoy Hamilton so much. I've gotten a few of my teammates into Hamilton this year too. When I said we were singing songs together, we may or may not have been singing "The Room Where It Happens." So, um, yeah, those are little things about me that really I didn't even know if you'd be able to see them or not. But this used to be my background for my podcast. I have a Gat Milk
Hmm.
little thing right there because I come from a dairy farm. My family milked cows for 40 years. We stopped when I was 14. So it's a big part of what shaped me growing up. And then I have just all sorts of stuff. I have letters from a state officer right here. When I was still in high school, she wrote me a really long letter, and it was just so I have it up there. Um, this big emblem right here
Yep.
was my aunt's. She got it at her first national convention, and she gave it to me when I joined FFA. And then looking for anything else, I have just a bunch of odd and end things, I think, besides some Kentucky Farm Bureau stuff because I competed in the Kentucky Farm Bureau competition.
So did
Um,
I.
you did Outstanding
Yeah.
Youth?
Yep.
Oh my goodness, how was that?
That was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I couldn't. So I Lexington. I came for like that, like for Fayette County. I came in first place for the guys, which was awesome.
Congratulations, dude. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
But I couldn't go to the next level up
Mhm.
because um so I do plays and musicals and theater.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love that, and we had a show that day, and I was like, oh, I can't. As much as I love
The show must
giving
go
speech,
on.
the show must go on, and I was like, I was so mad.
We could have
When
had even more in common. I competed in Outstanding Youth speech competition my sophomore year. Um, Somehow I won it. Who knows? I think mom paid off the judges or something. Um, but no, it's a great competition too, and I'm sure you'll get there again next year and
yeah,
hopefully win it. But if not, the next year after that, it's a very great competition. I was giving some advice to a couple different people about it this year, and I was like, overall, win or lose, you're a winner
yeah,
because in that room when they have you all together, you're in there with future state officers of 4-H and FFA, future um, national officers. I'll tell you, I have something about that. Future commissioner of ags for all you know, future teammates, future ag teacher. You're going to have so many great connections. But the reason I said future national officers, when I competed my sophomore year, the girl that won Miss Congeniality was Caroline. So it was really cool. That's when I met Caroline for the first time. Then I saw her again at that state convention right before she got elected. She sat right beside me for the parley contest. I didn't even know she was a state officer candidate at the time because I was still kind of I was in between my sophomore and junior year. I was still kind of an airhead,
yeah.
not really knowing what was going on. And then I saw her on the stage a couple days later as a national or as a state officer. And then I was on the nominating committee that selected her to represent Kentucky um, as a national officer candidate. And then she went on to become a national officer. So it's so cool. Um, I felt like I got to cheer her on a little bit from the sidelines throughout her journey, seeing it progress. And so that was awesome too. Um, but yeah, that Kentucky Farm Bureau Outstanding Youth is a
Yeah.
stellar competition. I
And
recommend everybody do it.
2025 has definitely, at least so far, I know I've only had like a few years, has definitely been one of my favorite, like for FFA because
Mhm.
um I'm a part of the executive team, which has been fun. I made it to our FFA camp. I went to national convention. I'm competing in competitions, and not only that, but for Locust Race as a whole, we had a national officer from Locust Race, and we had a National Star Farmer finalist,
Yes, you did.
and we had our senior partly team go to nationals and
In
came,
advance.
yeah, and that it and Mr. Bustle, one of our advisors, he was like he he was talking to me about it, like how he thinks this is just really cool, and how he thinks a lot of us should just like enjoy it because like this is probably not going to happen again.
Y'all have something special going on right now.
Yeah.
I sat. I'm pretty good friends with Alexis Goldie. I don't know if
Yep.
you
I've met
know her
her.
good.
Yeah.
Um, Me and her had some classes together. We're the same major at UK. I think we're the same major. We have a lot of the same classes, so surely we are. Um, I always asked her, "Where's your book at?" When we were on campus, when y'all were getting ready to go to national convention, she pulled out Robert's Rules of Order.
Yep.
I was like, "Okay, make sure you're studying." No, y'all are killing it right now. You're so right. Unheard of, honestly, to have as much success in the past year, 2 years that y'all have had.
Yeah. And it's been amazing. And what do you major in?
I'm majoring in agriculture economics, and then I'm minoring in public policy.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I know I think Michaela's also met.
She
Yep.
is. She
Yep.
is.
I remember talking to her about it. We
Me and
were
her are, and then I think Molly Good are the only non-ag ed majors in on the state officer team right now. A lot of them want to go be ag teachers, and they're going to be great ag teachers. I'm
yeah.
so excited.
And that just makes me happy because in the creed,
Yeah,
for future generations and stuff like that.
a
It's just
hundred,
amazing.
a
Just
hundred
amazing to see. And I love this officer team.
percent.
I
Well, we're really excited. We think we selected a good theme. I know I said theme probably a
yeah.
hundred times in this. It's fresh on the mind. We're really giddy about it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's going to
And
be.
what went down at the Indiana thing, the whole
Oh
Madagascar.
yeah. So Madagascar. So at State Officer Summit, I made some friends. Meet Dawson went with me too.
Mhm.
Dawson Hall. He's another state officer. He's the Lincoln Trail State Vice President. Yeah. We went to Indiana because we made good connections at Summit with their state officer team, and they just invited us to come up. It's like their version of Rising Sun Conference.
Okay.
Um, but they do two of them. But it was Madagascar themed this year, and they invited us up there. We did a workshop for them. We gave a little motivational speech. They called it, I think, a keynote. We probably talked for like 10 minutes, and then we just hung out with them all week. It was so cool. It's kind of like what you see state officers do at camp
Yeah.
is what we compared. I would compare us more to like the national officer role in that because we were a little bit more hands off, just trying to learn what was going on and make friends. And it was such a great time. I mean, I absolutely loved it. Dawson loved it. Their state officer team welcomed us with open arms. They were awesome. It was just a great time to get to see how other states do it, get to interact with a whole new members. Because I walked in, I only knew the state officers. I knew zero of the members there. And it was really cool at the end of the week to know how many pictures I took with other people, how many hugs, how many, I'm going to miss you, man. When are you coming back?
Yep.
When you come to our state convention, this or that. Just those genuine connections that make FFA so special kind of, in a way, made me feel like a freshman again because I had to sit down at a table filled with, I knew nobody. I
Yeah.
just, I knew nobody. It was up to me to make friends because they did introduce us and stuff, but most people weren't just going to come up and introduce themselves. Just because we are new, everybody already had their little friend groups, so it was cool to give me and Dawson the opportunity to go back to middle school or back to freshman or sophomore year, and have to put ourselves out there and make those connections, and not just be able to find the easy way out of sitting with someone you already know. So it was really cool, a really great time.
Awesome. And I guess the final thing I kind of want to ask is when did it like I guess become real to you that you got elected into state office? Like was there like a specific interaction with like a member or like when it like
Hmm.
finally clicked with you that you used to look up to people who would have been in your position?
Yes. Okay. So this is when it clicked for me. Okay. This is going to sound really, really stupid. Okay, so I had this thing when love you too, Mom. Bye. I'm doing a podcast. I'll be there. We have Christmas in an hour, and it's 15 minutes away. She's like, "Are you gonna be there?" Bless my mama's heart. Anyways, back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe you can edit that out. You can leave it in. I don't care. When I decided I wanted to run for state office, one of my advisors told me, "You need to do something every day to improve yourself. You need to do something to get better, because the process of running for state office isn't to become a better candidate. It's to become a better version of yourself. I need to, if I don't come out as win or lose, if I don't come out a better version of Matthew, it was all for nothing." It's about self growth, and not just figuring out how they want you to answer a question or what their magic formula is or whatever. I said, okay, I got to do something every day. I got to hold myself accountable to this. I can't let the days go by me not have any self growth through the months at all. How can I hold myself accountable? I am an L8 addict. I love L8 so much. I mean, if you take a half a glance at my Instagram, I'm
It's all LA.
LA can somewhere or bottle. I was like, okay, there it is. That's what I care about. Cutting myself off from L8s hurt my heart. I was like, the only way I am allowed to drink in LA is if I do something that improved me, whether it be I improved 0.5%, 0.0001%, as long as I do something that I improve myself, I can have an L8. That sounds really stupid, but long story short, after I got elected from state office, when I left my house to go to Lexington to run for state office, I took some L8s with me, but I had one special straw melon L8, and I kept it in the back of my truck, and I was like, this is either going to be my reward for getting state office, or this is going to be my consolation prize for giving my best effort. And I think probably when I opened and drank that straw melon L8, I was like, oh yeah, we did it. I'm a state officer. Oh yeah, this is epic. But I told you it was a stupid story, but
I mean, I don't see it as stupid. I
it
mean,
was a
it's yes, it's funny, but it's also like the little things can mean a lot.
definitely, I totally agree. But then I guess like a member interaction that made me really feel like a state officer. Let me think here. I don't really have a beard to rub, but we can imagine that I am. My first chapter visit was actually at my home chapter, so they just treated me like Matthew, which is great. I needed to be humbled. No, probably when I went to Warren Central to give my first workshops, I really felt like a state officer for the first time. I was in my fresh jacket. This is back in August, and I was giving my first workshop solo to people that nobody knew. Nobody knew me. And it was up to me to make those connections. I made really good connections by the end of the day with some of their officer teams, some of their members. And I left that, and I was texting Mr. Call, the state secretary, the executive secretary. I was like, I love this. This is great. I feel so cool. And making those genuine connections definitely made me feel more like a state officer than I did before.
Yeah, and even though it is like, I guess, a position of power, it's always a thing of you're there for a reason because
Mhm.
someone was like, okay, this kid
Mhm.
has what we want in a leader, and then feeling like it, and then being able to make that impact, I'm sure
Yeah,
feels amazing.
going off what you said, I don't even think, it's a position of power. I used to think it was until I got the position. It really is a position of service more than anything.
Like living to serve.
Literally
Yeah,
living to serve. You know, it's not about how many Kentucky FFA constitutional amendments I can make, or how many
yeah,
executive orders Aiden can sign, or anything like that. It's about how many lives can I impact, and how many smiles can I create, how many laughs can I get, how many chapters can I visit and hopefully make connections at. It's all about service. That's the name of the game. And it's kind of going back to that L8 thing. When you do workshops, it's not to tell people they need to be better. It's to hopefully give them the tools to make themselves 0.5% better every time they go through a workshop. And so it's a position of service, and it's been the biggest blessing of my lifetime so far.
Well, that's amazing to hear. And thank
Sure.
you for agreeing to
Dude,
this, especially during
dude,
this
thank
time
you
of
for
year.
having me. I was jealous when I've seen all my other teammates on. No, I'm just kidding. I think you're killing it, dude. We're all so proud of you. I remember when you got National FFA Advisor.
Yep.
When you
Dr.
got
Park.
him, yeah, when you got Park on there, I think a text got sent to the state officer group chat. We were like, "Get a load of this! This is awesome! He's killing it! We're so proud of you, dude." I love it when members put themselves out there to grow and be better, and you're doing it. You're not just doing it for yourself. I don't think. I think you're doing it for agriculture, doing it to show other FFA members that's possible. And so
Yeah.
we're so proud of you, dude.
And I guess this wouldn't be possible without, I guess, the state officer. So thank you guys too for that.
Thank Anna Coliff. Sounds like she
Yeah.
made a difference. That's awesome, dude.
It's just like you said, making someone smile, making that connection does make a difference.
Yes, sir.
So thank
Thank you
you.
for having us.
Have an amazing holidays.
Hey, you too. Merry Christmas, man.
Merry Christmas.